Actually using Restream. This is for my own documentation purposes, but I'm using Restream directly from the Safari internet browser app on an iPhone 13 mini. Uh, I believe it's 480p, 30 frames per second, and I'll see how much I can do of this because I'm actually walking outside and I'm carrying a bunch of stuff. I guess I'm out of shape and the car's a little far away. And I think this just takes more thought. But I guess this is just a sort of intro to something I've been wanting to cover lately, and hopefully my audio is working. I don't know. And if there is a chat, I can't see anything. But anyhow, I've noticed recently that people are playing up this bogeyman, especially with their antipathy or their nonchalance regarding uh, trans rights, trans activism, trans acceptance, uh, and the boogeymen that have been built around all that. I.e., they're coming for your kids, i.e., uh, you know, uh, school this, school that. And my issue is a lot of people have been using that. Oh, well, here. My wife is just a second. And a lot of people have been using that as an excuse to lump in all the left. Let me see if I can flip my camera. Maya, I'm streaming. Maya, say hi. Hey, it's your birthday. How old are you? How old are you? Two? How old? Not one, two. Oh, you're counting your thumb. Okay. All right. See. Bye bye. All right. I'll see you later. I'll be back. Don't worry. Anyhow, I feel bad when she cries. So anyhow, my issue is I've noticed this on several uh, Twitch streams in light of the Anarchist-Barian thing, and what really gets me is that people are like, oh wow, Anarchist-Barian, this real leftist is finally coming around to the light and coming back and doing a whole come back to the center, and finally they're seeing the light. And there isn't a more disingenuous argument or line of argumentation than that. It's like, okay, I am really tired. Uh, I'm carrying about 100 pounds of tools. Uh, I think what I want to say is also I hate when I'm in public talking because I just don't know what people overhearing me might think. So I don't know. It's one of those things, but it's like they're using the anti-Conspirian reaction as some sort of indictment on the entire left, when, objectively speaking, the TYT has always been milk toast, middle of the road. I mean, they were part of my evolution into the left over years and years and years, but to claim that anti-Conspirians knee-jerk reaction to a made up issue for all intents and purposes has been so bad faith. And if anything, I think it reflects like, from one side it reflects on political analysts and commentators, and that's using the word loosely because these people on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, I don't know if we're gonna consider them political analysts. There's no analysis going on. But having said that, let's just use that word, right? The problem is they maybe not purposely, but I think there's a bit of intellectual dishonesty, and that doesn't always mean there's an intent to deceive, but a little intellectual weakness where it's like, oh, so since she worked for TYT and this, that, and the other, and held the flag for the left, if she even finds it off-putting, then, well, hell, the centrists were right all along, the right wing was right all along. Come back, come back to our side. And my problem is I can get mad at those streamers, but it doesn't really matter for anything, count for anything, because they're gonna do them. They found a useful, idiotic moment to use, and they're gonna go and run with it. I don't blame them, right? If I find George W. Bush or somebody of his acolytes, talking, saying that American imperialism has gone too far, et cetera, yeah, I'd run with it, even if maybe that person isn't. Uh, well, I don't know if I would run with it, but it would present a very good opportunity as a propaganda victory. All right, it would present itself as a proverbial column in our box that I could make political points off of and use as a point of reference. Right? Hey, look, Dick Cheney said this and this about the war, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. Uh, Having said that, I think it falls on Anna Kasparian and even in TYT in general that why would you guys allow yourselves to become useful idiots? I mean, there are things that can be taken care of in house. There are things that can be taken care and mediated and gone over, et cetera, in house. Well before the dirty laundry, the the stuff that should be kept in house gets out, right? And now you have everybody trying. I mean, it's like a divorce, right? Or a dispute between siblings. It can already be bad enough, understandable. Uh, okay, where did I park? It can be already bad enough, and that's understandable. Well before you start getting other parties involved, and getting people on the internet involved is the last thing you want. Crap, I don't see my car. I hope it didn't get towed. I'll be fucked, really. Anyhow, so in the coming days, or maybe later tonight, when I get home and I actually have my streaming set up and not on my phone, I want to really kind of harp and bitch about how and I want to hold two parties accountable here. You know, I think the onus, first and foremostly, and most importantly, is on the TYT folks because they should know better. They ought to know better. They should not have made themselves and offered themselves up as useful idiot meat for the masses. But secondly, I find it. How do I say this? I don't find it intellectually excruciating to actually be honest when looking at this. You're telling me the left has gone so far out of bounds, that even when they control government, they can't get their stuff passed. Roe v. Wade gets repealed. Affirmative action, this and that and the other. I'd like to know exactly what leftist psycho policy has been passed. What psycho, far left off the. Because I was watching a streamer yesterday who I guess they consider themselves centristy, whatever, liberal, whatever. And I found it not just concerning and appalling, and also a lot of these streamers like to fashion themselves as political and sophist with sophistry and wow. Okay, I'm taking a break for a second. Let me go sit on the bench. Let me collect my thoughts. Not only do these people like to fashion themselves like these like thinkers, and they went to school and they can talk to you about all these methods and theories, and you know, I don't know, I'm a STEM lord guy, engineering undergrad, business school, graduate school, master's degree, maybe a PhD in finance as well, um, if and whenever I feel like doing it. But that's not my point. My point is you get all these like philosophy bros and debate bros, and there is nothing rooted in like something substantive, something that's. I mean, I'm looking at the political climate and exactly what have leftists done. Uh, Leftism is primarily an economic principle, and it is insofar that the American system is so divisive racially and in terms of gender roles and gender rights, and 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 is so wrapped up around its puritanism that we have to include that in leftism, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but I'm saying that it is because of the added bigotries and inequalities of the American system that the left takes on the burden, and I mean the burden in a good way, of other minorities and people that are hurt, because there is no progress with the equality and equity of all people, right? So having said that, it goes to say that first and foremost, leftism is an economic ideology. Uh, in the modern form, it has to be buttressed with social issues, because we have to understand that the olden days where countries were where it was okay to be to think this like ethnic homogeneity was the way to go, and immigration wasn't a thing, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, we live in a different world now, and we go with the extra mile, the extra steps to where we have to make that matter, because again, you cannot be intellectually honest in your economic approach if you're willing to leave those many of many powerless people behind, right? Because in any political system, wealth is power, power is wealth, and it also takes its power takes its form in many ways, socially, politically, but also financially, money, economics, right? Having said that, I want to know from these centrist libs, I don't even know what I want to call them now, but exactly what is so radically left that has been effectuated or implemented in any meaningful manner? Do you mean pop culturally, we're accepting of other human beings, despite uh, possible, dysphorias and other things that many humans have? Is that all? Is that what's so far left that you guys can't fathom? How far much more left it can get? Or is it the made up pearl clutching, boogeyman of the leftist that wants to teach your child how to do XYZ in some random book in the dusty shelves of some underfunded school in Florida? Like, let's be honest here. Systemically, institutionally, politically, economically, socially, America is right wing, right leaning. It is just in the last few months with Roe v. Wade, with affirmative action, with Citizens United. Oh, but gay marriage from 2005 till now shows how left America has become. No, it hasn't. People, if anything, the whole gay marriage issue was something where it was like known for 40, 50 years, and it was just a matter of time when it finally the dam would break. That's all. I mean, you cannot claim something that's been on the docket for 4 or 5 decades, and then say, "Oh, hey, look, the dam finally broke through, and it's now a sign of progress." No, in fact, I think gay marriage was a sign of lack of progress. Why do I say that? Well, what the hell took so damn long, right? So you can have whatever feeling you want about it, but I don't see it as ethical. Let's say somebody who wants to love another person and they're hurting nobody else isn't allowed to. And we can even bring in the economic and financial aspect of it. If their partner dies or a medical, decision has to be made, and they're kept out of the loop because they're not considered by the state as a partner or next of kin, and on and on and on. But that's a moot point. Let's just look at it from a humanitarian. What is right? I mean, so if anything, gay marriage and its acceptance was a tragedy in the sense of why did it take so long? Why did it take till 2000 and what 13 or whatever? And even then, it was only codified only until recently. So not even 2005 till now. It's more like 2022, I believe. It's been codified. So having said that, uh, I find it absurd that there are people taking glee on this matter, saying, "Oh well, look, the left is eating it." No, the left is not. the, you know what makes the left great is the fact that we hold each other accountable. The left is holding each other accountable. Yes, the left calls and perfects who follows. That doesn't mean it's not inclusive. That doesn't mean it's exclusive. What it is saying that there are boundaries, there are lines that you cannot cross, and with any movement, that should always be the case. There are lines you cannot cross. You can't support. I mean, let's do the one that everybody uses. You can't support Hitler just because you support gay rights, right? Like that's not acceptable. That's not a part of the deal, of the political platform. So having said that, it's just disappointing to see, and like I'm not expecting people that are centrists and whatnot to like you know uh, you know fix our stuff or be charitable in any meaningful sense, but be charitable to your own sense of respect and self-worth, and stop this whole, oh well, look, they finally came back. Oh, even oh, I didn't know when the day would be when Ann Kasparian would see the light and come back to the right, not to the right, but come back to the center. Well, even the psycho TYT folks, even they notice it's been too. Nah, dude, that ain't it. That ain't it. If that is the surface level in analysis you take from it, then take off the word analysis from your bio, from whatever you say it is that you do. Just go back to calling yourself what is it? Magic the Gathering and D&D and Pokemon and whatever. Go to the polls, Dragon Ball Z streamer. I mean, I know that sounds lame. I'm doing that on purpose, but my point is just stop. Just stop it. Uh, if you think the left has gone so far, the left. I mean, how laughable is it that you would say that the left has gone so far when Bernie Sanders can't even. Hey Zoop, when Bernie Sanders can't even muster to get black voters to vote for him. Hello Zoop. I'm about to end stream, but thank you for dropping by. Nice to have you here. Uh, but yeah, it's disappointing. I expect more from people analyzing this because it's not because I know these people. Yeah, thanks. And it's not because I like intimately know what their educational background is, but I feel like if you've been in political Twitch and Twitter for this long, I reserve some good faith for centrist liberals and leftwards. And it just seems like everybody is a reactionary at their core. I mean, how can you, like, sure, you want to call TYT leftists? They're left leaning. Do you want to say there are disagreements between them and other factions of the left? Yeah, some are big, some are small. But to come away from that when there is a disagreement about something that's actually non-existent, that that a one random leftist commentator who has a big platform was roped into and didn't even give a sensible take, and people run off with that as proof of the house of cards falling. Brother, let me tell you something. The left is already in shambles. The left can't even get $15 minimum wage. You're gonna tell me the left is has gone far left? We can't go far left of $15 or right of $15 for that matter. You know, we can't get healthcare for all. We can't even get uh, so many other things that are considered milk toast leftism in most other countries. You know, but if you're gonna go through the Ron DeSantis line and consider that that's what the right wing is, then yeah, sure, the Overton window really has been pulled. But to those that are out there in glee and thinking that never thought the TYT folks would see the light, please stop. Dig a little deeper. I mean, if 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 leftism for you is when TYT does X, Y, or Z, then you've lost the plot already. So, anyhow, on that note, I'm gonna get into my car. I need to go grab something really quickly. And man, there are some mosquitoes out here. I did not expect this to be this long. I'm gonna look over the quality of the stream later. I'm using Restream versus the Safari app on iPhone uh, in the neighborhood. So yeah, it is what it is. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Zoop, for dropping by, and whoever else is in Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. And we'll go from there. Bye.